you certainly have a critique of Noam Chomsky, but it's my understanding that Chomsky is not the only one. And in fact, you have a great deal of expertise on the lay of the land and some of these other characters, like what is it, the green zone, or the what is it, the gray zone? And
oh God, the gray zone.
please fill us in, warn us, because
Max
a lot of people read
Blumenthal.
this.
Well, you know, I mean, they're also a part of the same basic tendency that we've been discussing here of, you know, these ostensibly progressive voices, which have been completely, you know, co-opted by Kremlin propaganda. Now, they are not actually on RT or Sputnik the way, you know, Chris Hedges and Lee Camp actually were.
Caitlin Johnston, I saw also on RT on the front page.
But they are avidly promoted by RT and Sputnik. So I don't know precisely what the nature of the working relationship is between the Kremlin propaganda apparatus and Max Blumenthal's you know, gray zone. But obviously, it's some kind of a working relationship. I'm not privy to the details of what it is.
What about Jimmy Dore?
Certainly, they promote his work very, very, very aggressively. And
the legendary Bill Weinberg.
And he adheres to their political line fastidiously. So you know, obviously, there's some kind of working relationship there.
Okay, but don't we know for a fact that Jimmy Dore did receive a cash prize that was basically traceable to Russian money?
I'm not sure it was traceable to Russian money. He did receive a cash award from a Beltway lobbying group, ironically calling itself AIPAC, like the American Israel Political Action Committee. But it was, I can look up what it actually stood for, but it was a pro-Assad.
And he accepted it.
Lobbying group. Yes, let me look that up.
I mean, there's nothing inherently guilty if somebody wants to give you an award, if it's legitimately that rather than a payoff. But I would think if they're connected to Bashar Assad or Putin, the proper thing to do is to decline the award. Now, what about?
Okay, I'm reading from my website, Counter Vortex now. This what ran in October of 2019, citing Bellingcat on September 30th, 2019, ran an expose on the, here we go, Association for Investment in Popular Action Committees, AIPAC, note the acronym, cute, huh?
Yeah,
which runs an award for uncompromised integrity in journalism, and is lavished many thousands of dollars on journalists who toe the pro-Assad line. Among the winners is Jimmy Dore, a comedian turned political commentator, who was in a, I'm sorry, jumping ahead here, in an IRS filing. Dore actually began receiving money from this AIPAC through its award for uncompromised integrity in journalism in 2017, receiving $2,500 for what was described as quote unquote human rights media. That same year, 2017, Dore would argue that the chemical weapons attack on Khan Shaykhun was likely a quote unquote false flag, with, you know, again, the rebels, you know, gassing their own people as a provocation.
That's a lot of nonsense.
In repudiation of the findings of, you know, every bona fide, you know, human rights group and media investigation into the attack, and the findings of the OPCW, the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons,
which was obstructed by Russia. And there was one guy that was involved who didn't get along with anybody and quit or
Well,
got
there again,
fired.
there was this whole to-do about a leaked dissident sub-team report from the OPCW investigation into one of the chemical attacks in Syria. I can't remember offhand if it was the Khan Shikun attack or the Ghouta attack, 1 year apart from each other, one in 2017, the other in 2018. But it was never even confirmed by the OPCW that that the so-called leaked document was even legit, and it completely contradicted the actual findings of the OPCW, which is the body of the United Nations. After
Well,
all,
it inserted ambiguity.
it was aggressively plugged by Gray Zone and Noam Chomsky and etc. As casting doubt on the obvious reality that the chemical attack had originated from Bashar Assad, who has carried out literally hundreds of chemical attacks in Syria over the course of the past 10 years since the war began.
Right, and that whole thing was just introduced ambiguity. It didn't actually contradict anything, and Russia actually used its position on the Security Council to shut the whole thing down prematurely, which then allowed the tanky apologists to claim that the final judgment did not come in. Well, the way they write these languages is very much in legalistic language, where they avoid jumping to conclusions, which are really quite obvious, but because of legal training, they couch it in terms that they don't make any assertion that they do not have absolute
right. I think
certainty.
that there actually still are, there still is an OPCW investigation open into the Syria chemical attacks.
But whatever is or is not open, it was crippled by Russian.
Russia has played a very obstructionist role. Yes, exactly. In attempting to shut down these investigations.